Every time I drive into Ammanford, it feels a little bit magical, which is a bit odd because maybe some people would think it's a bit of a dive, but I love it. I mean, it's magical. It's literally magical. This was kind of where I had so many dreams like bubbling up inside of me, I guess, and thinking about my future, you know, as a little girl, and yeah, thinking about, oh, my Prince Charming, you know, and how gorgeous he'd be, and, you know, we get married and he'd sweep me off my feet, having this big family and having gorgeous children and hoping that they're not as vertically challenged as their mother. So many dreams. I just love this town. Really, really precious times. And I'm so thankful for the people and the places in this town, because I guess it shaped my faith journey, and my faith journey has been what my story is all about, and it all started here in this town. Oh my goodness, all the memories. This is my school. So much inspiration was taken here. I actually loved school. I loved school so much. I remember when I was in sixth form, I was the captain of the house for an Eisteddfod, which is like a concert that we put on annually. You get put in charge of kind of little children, year 7s, year 8s, and I think that's where then I just thought, oh, I have definitely got a passion for, you know, children, and me and my husband, we haven't been able to have children yet, and it's been a tough journey, but God is faithful, and there's other ways that I've been able to, you know, embrace the journey of motherhood, and one has been through sponsoring this beautiful little girl that I met when I went to Ethiopia called Tinsei. This is where we had our first mother and baby group. My mum said I was the loudest out of them all. I actually saw this building when I went into that little shack that we were in Ethiopia with those mothers and babies. The fact that they have their babies in their arms, I think that's their greatest gift, and just being there and seeing their joy, even though they have nothing, was contagious. And I thought, I never want to take for granted what we have. I want to give to these mums who have nothing, yet they seem to think that they have everything because they have these gorgeous babies. So this is an album, photograph album that my mum put together of me as a baby. I've never actually seen them in this kind of particular order. This is where the journey began with my gorgeous mum and dad. There's me, a little bumblebee. Creativity starting young. I think it was about, I don't know, maybe 3 there. I used to absolutely love dolls. I would have probably planned that I would have had a baby, gosh, when I was about 25, and you know, that hasn't happened for us yet, and sometimes I have struggled with that. I've had some real down seasons, you know, about not being a mum yet, and seeing all my friends, but just trusting in God that His timing's perfect, His plans are perfect. I saw these mums and babies and just thinking about changing the narrative in my head, and you know, never becoming resentful about young mums, even though it was something that I so wanted and didn't yet have. But how could I turn that around? Somebody had a prophetic word for me actually, and said within the next decade you will go to Africa and use your gift to bless people, and it'll be a significant moment in your life journey. 2 months prior to the end of that decade being up, in 2020, that I was asked by Compassion to go out to Ethiopia, which I think is beautifully orchestrated by our God. I remember the first time I met an Ethiopian mum and her baby. It was a shack, no light, no electricity, and going in and seeing this mum with her beautiful little baby, and I can honestly say those babies' eyes, they shone, and there was no light in the room, but these beautiful eyes just kind of, oh, they captured my heart, and they had nothing. That was the first moment I thought, when I get out of here, I am going to immediately ask if I can sponsor this beautiful little girl. That I could, you know, be some sort of a mother to this beautiful baby, even from afar. I'll always consider it one of my greatest privileges. Yeah, I just remember walking down this drive and there was a kind of gated blue wall with like kids' little graffiti on it, walking into this mother and baby project. And there was one particular lady who, she just started sobbing as she kind of stood up and held her baby close to her and started talking about how her husband had left her. She was a single mum, she had this little baby and a 5-year-old, and prior to this project, she had nothing. She had no money for her rent, she had no clothes to put on herself or her baby, no food. And she was just sobbing, I think, as she, you know, was realising again what this compassion project had done for her, how it had supplied, you know, all these things that she had not had. And we heard other of the mothers' stories, and it was just the same. It was, we had nothing. Like, you know, these children and mothers would probably have been, you know, left for dead at worst, and yet here they were having these things, these simple things that we take for granted provided for, and they just kept saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I wanted to bless them back in the way that they blessed me, because I knew I would never be the same again after that moment. And I thought, what can I give them in this moment? What can I give them? I remember that prophecy, and I remember thinking, you will go out and you will use your creativity. And I just remember thinking, I'm just going to sing for them. I'm going to sing for them. So I sang. Now may the peace of the Lord be with you, be with you. As I just started singing, I wasn't just singing it, it was my prayer for them. I was asking the Lord, you know, like, help this prayer, Lord, be infused by your Spirit, that it wouldn't just be a prayer, that it would be your breath prophesying over these lives, that these lives, Lord God, would be lives enriched with peace and enriched with your face turning towards them. And there was just a hush in the room, and we just believe it was, you know, God's presence just coming in like only He can. May the Lord keep you, and may God's face shine upon you always, and give you peace. Give you peace and give